Hey, church family, my name's Colin. Pastor David has been talking a lot lately about evangelism and just kind of sharing your story. So I want to take a few minutes today to share mine, just the story that God has given me to just evangelize to people and just tell them how awesome He is and what He's done for me. For those of you that don't know, I was born with 2 holes in my heart. I had a kidney failure, said the holes were leaking blood, just all kinds of stuff going on, and I wasn't supposed to live at all. I wasn't supposed to live, I think, past 2 years old, and God kind of brought me through that and kept me alive. And most of my life, kind of growing up, I had to deal with heart problems. If I wanted to play baseball, I had to wear like a catcher's mask, or a catcher's chest protector, because if I got hit hard enough in the chest, it could kill me. I couldn't play football with all my friends. When I got to play basketball in high school, I had to wear like a pad over my chest. I couldn't get hit hard or anything like that. So growing up, that was really tough. When I was in 5th grade, I actually got told that I needed to have heart surgery if I wanted to live, open heart surgery. And that was terrifying as a 5th grader to hear that if you don't have a surgery where they're going to cut you open and work on your heart and replace a valve in your heart, that you're going to die. And so it's very terrifying, especially as a little kid. That summer, I actually went to church camp with my church. It was RA camp. And I was real worried because I was supposed to have the surgery or I'd schedule it at the end of the summer and stuff, and they all gathered around me. All the kids that I went to church with, they gathered around me on the bus at the end of the week with the director and everything, and one of the directors from another church, and they all kind of gathered around me, laid hands on me, and prayed for me at the end of the week, because I had shared with them just how scared I was about this, and they all knew a little bit of my story. I'll never forget, like, once we got up from praying, the RA director, Orville, looked me in the eye and said, "Colin, I want you to wake up every morning until that appointment with your cardiologist. I want you to thank God for healing your heart and just truly believe in your heart that you were healed and that God still can work miracles, and that to this day He can do the impossible." And so I did that. As a 5th grader, kind of getting told that and stuff, it's a little overwhelming, but I chose to believe. I chose to have faith. So every day for the rest of that summer, until my next appointment, I thanked God for how amazing He is, for His healing, just knowing that He could do things still today, just like He did way back then. And the appointment finally came at the end of the summer. I went into the cardiologist. I had all my preemptive tests that I had to have at these appointments, an echocardiogram and all kinds of stuff. And I was sitting in the room. I just remember thinking it was taking way longer than it ever had for my cardiologist to come back in the room. And I mean, we're talking like 30, 45 minutes and stuff. And so finally she comes into the room and she's just kind of staring at my charts with a blank look on her face. And the first thing she said to me was, "Colin, you must have been doing a lot of praying this summer because your heart is completely healed and you do not have to have this surgery." And my mind was blown. I was freaking out. I was yelling for joy. I think I even told people out in the hallway, like, I was just floored. And after it kind of settled down, my heart doctor looked me in the eye, and this, my cardiologist, said, "I need you to know that this is a God thing because this medically is not possible." And to hear a doctor say that is just awesome. And to this day, anytime I go to like a doctor's appointment or something, or a new doctor, I have to tell them, my medical history. And the first thing they ask when I tell them about my heart is, "When did you have the surgery to repair that?" Or, "You had surgery to repair that, obviously." And when I tell them no, they're floored every time. Like, just, it was a medical, just kind of miracle that God did for me. And that is, to this day, just the coolest thing I've ever experienced in my life, and something that I've gotten to use to kind of tell people and share just that God's still doing miracles today. And so that's a little bit of my story that I want to share with you guys. And so Pastor David's been talking a lot about just sharing your story lately. There's a lot more going into that. I'm talking like 16, 17 years of story that goes with that, but that's a little bit of the condensed version. And I encourage you to kind of find your story that God's given you and go out and tell the world, and just be sowers for Christ. Like, be able to go out there and share your story that God's given you, because it could mean the world to someone.